down. Bed. Are you ready? Be quiet.
What are you teaching?
The interrogative form, so turning things like she is a teacher into, so good is, then, and then we're going to move on to things like this, that, these, so plural, singular, and just basically practicing it before we move on to reading.
So how important is this?
Well, this is really important because Morella's at the stage where she has a lot of vocabulary, but it's about stringing it together in a sentence. So she's practicing at home, but she needs to get the correct form from the get-go so that she can continue to practice the right thing. Are we students good at? Good girl. Okay.
How do you accomplish this teaching?
I think it's a little bit easier because I get to teach one-on-one with Morella. So I can sit here and say, right, how do I change this? And I can make her literally slot them over until she gets it. And then we are not students. Good. No, it's okay, no question. Statement. Good. Okay. Yeah, like I said, because I can work one-on-one with Morella, it's quite easy to see where she struggles at. I am, it's quite easy to see where she falls down, and then I can just go back over to place. But I'm following this guide here, just as a basis of where. So how do we say fall? Yeah, so we're just using this as like a basis of where to go. So after we do the interrogative form, we're going to do adjectives and plural structure. Just as like, take the idea and do your own lesson from it.
We are trying to introduce Antonio into the 5 senses today, and then get him to answer some questions like what can you taste, what can you hear, what can you smell, what can you see, what can you touch. For him, I find that the drawing really works. If he can see, if he can visualize what he's supposed to be learning and connect the English word to a picture, that really helps him to understand without necessarily needing Portuguese translation, which is really important for getting him kind of immersed in English rather than just learning by rote. What I'm trying to do with him is get him to be able to explain in English his world and make it relevant to him. I really feel that if the English lessons are applicable to what he's going through in his life, he's going to be more interested in them. So we go through things like, what have you done today? What do you like to do? What's your favourite colour? When's your birthday? And it's just little things like that that slowly the meaning of the words kind of become embedded rather than learning more abstract things, which sometimes can be more difficult to pick up, especially when it's really heavy grammar. That doesn't really work very well. So I try to make it more about him so he can learn to talk about himself in English, which if and when he does go to speak English to native English speakers, that's going to be what they're interested in talking to him about.
What kind of person should volunteer for Project Favela?
someone that has a lot of energy, is sociable, is good with children, and is creative and inventive, and just sees like the enjoyment in things.
What kind of traits have you learned since being here?
Patience. That you have to adapt to each child because every child is different. Because, like, for example, between the 4 and 5-year-olds, it's just there is such a big age difference, and you do have to change how you teach them. Yeah, patience in the sense you're living in a close environment with people all the time, and in the school you're with the same people and the children. It's a very small environment, so yeah. The best thing to do is probably do a bit of research about Rio, about what you need to bring, and also, to be honest, you can't really prepare for it because it's something that you will learn as you go along, and in the first week you will learn so much, and other than kind of bringing the correct equipment and stuff for Rio, there's not actually much you can do to prepare.
Were you prepared for this?
I guess I was, but that's because I've lived abroad before, so I kind of knew things. But there is also stuff that I didn't know, and I'm still learning. I've only been here a week, so I really should have brushed up on my Portuguese because I'm speaking a mix of Spanish and Portuguese at the moment. But other than that, like, there's nothing that's really shocked me. But I was well prepared because I had friends already here that told me what to expect.
The biggest challenge for me so far has been coming from a private school in Italy where I saw students that were in private school all day. There was a lot more pressure from the parents for these students to do well, and obviously unless they invested a lot of money in these children's education. And so they were quite keen for these kids to progress, be in lessons as much as they can, do as much testing as they could to try and increase their level of English. My challenge coming here is slightly different in that the children here are facing very different challenges, and a lot more probably personal challenges due to the fact that they live in Bosnia, live in Favela, and the kind of politically challenging turmoil moment that we're in at the moment in Brazil. Both were incredibly rewarding, but for me, just getting my head around a different lifestyle and getting to grips with the challenges that children face here has been one of my biggest challenges. The most rewarding thing for me in 5 weeks has been meeting a whole bunch of fantastic like-minded people that are also all here from different walks of life, but are here in the same mindset, that they're really engaged in the project and are here to try and make a real difference to the children's lives. I've made some fabulous lifelong friends, people that I'm very pleased to work alongside on a daily basis, people that have really pushed me on a daily basis in my own skill set and hopefully me and theirs. And it's probably been the most rewarding thing so far.
Okay, on and off. Onto the.
What are you teaching?
So at the moment, teaching what they like, what they don't like, and what they love. So trying to get them to notice that, and also to pick out these words. And then finally to say the phrase in English, all the phrase. So we're now going to say all the phrase, okay? Ready? Now, let's step inside. I like to cook. I do not like. Fowler. I do not like. To cook. What's cook? What's now?
How do you accomplish this teaching?
How do I accomplish it?
Yeah.
In what way would you?
But what's the aim?
The aim is, so we're the kind of vocab station, so it's to kind of recognise these kind of common phrases, and it's, again, with them it's a case of repeating. Whatever you say, make them repeat it in English, whatever it is. 3 times if you have to, 5 times if you have to. There's nothing inside. So yeah, it's a case of repeating, it's a case of kind of differentiating from like, love, don't like, making them know those differences.
How important is it for them to learn this?
I think it's important, it's good to have them, obviously to have an opinion, to be able to express themselves, what they like, what they don't like, especially with simple things like food and sport. It enables you to know them as well, what they like to eat, what they like to do, everything like that. So you get to know their hobbies as well. And it gets them to, especially with these older ones. With the younger ones, we do the similar activity, but we show them things. We show them animals. But with them, it enables them to think as well in their head, kind of what stuff they like to do as well.